94th anniversary.
Yeah, that thing, right?
Okay. November 2nd, 1930 is a very important day in the history of the 20th century. It's probably the most important day. Depends on your calendar and your view and sense of history. Yes. According to us, the Rastafarians, and it used to be, on a wider scale. This is the most important day because on that day was crowned the King of Ethiopia and with the Queen of Ethiopia, and they were crowned under the banner of the 68 Psalms. Ethiopia stretched forth her hands unto God, or that might need a little more studies, because in the English version it says soon, Ethiopia soon, but in the Girt version it says Ethiopia stretched forth her hands unto God. And in the Amharic present tense it tells you Ethiopian Fetina, which is quickly unto God. Right, so those who read the Schofield Bible need to make some adjustments, and that, because that's been a sticking point when presenting this issue. But true, a lot of people don't check with the Ethiopian narrative of the story, the Amharic narrative, which is much more clearer and has a more perfect translation, which brings us to, is how we recognize the 94th, or that day on November 2nd, 1930. It's a day that we see that many trying to avoid its significance, especially the biblical significance of the day. And this is what we want to focus upon, because many people have different view of Christ and the Advent and things. But from the first Advent, there would be a second Advent, which is when he established the kingdom at the top of the mountain. We don't have to go through a lot of Bible quotation, which is familiar with a lot of us who have read and studied the Bible over the years. Right? We know that his foundation is in the holy mountains. The Lord loved the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob.
And that's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, as we can see what's happening at that side of the dwellings of Jacob, which the Lord had given up. He said he abhor Jacob's dwellings. We can see why, right? And choose the Mount Zion, which he loves, which is where the kingdom, or the second Advent, was revealed from.
And is the emperor kind of legitimized, because you make analogies of things to event to happen. So is him legitimize everything up there about bringing down him when the throne was made?
Yeah, but in the title, it's the full title up there in is Ethiopia. Tabit Seida we are Habe here. That alone speaks of Christ's second advent. God and Ethiopia in the same sentence, as exalted by King David in his Psalms. Remember, King David of the tribe of Judah, he's the one who wrote the Psalms. And this one, even though theologists people call it the Messianic Psalms, when you understand it from that perspective, then you know it's a real issue. Because the difference between this one, is one which is on his coronation medallion, and the Amharic one, as we trace it back to like the new Adam, the new Hewan. That's why you have the man and the woman, the emperor and the empress. And it's to restore Ethiopia according to the covenant he had made. It was to restore and to bring back home the captives. But how do you recognize Christ's second advent? Because this issue here with His Majesty brought in a lot of issues, a lot of conflicts. The world came at war. We discussed that part already, you know.
Another discussion.
Yeah, he didn't even sit on the throne for a good year. The Roman Catholic under the Pope Pius and Mussolini and Victor Emmanuel was planning to invade Christian Ethiopia to dispel his rule, dispel his titles, to dispel the House of Solomon, to make the history non-existent. It's what they're still trying to do even after the 1974 revolution, which was a communist revolution. The reason why I pointed that because, you know, as we were talking not too long ago, you know, everybody said I'm waiting for Jesus and all these things. Even people who used to believe in Jesus and His Majesty as one now said they're waiting. Them not deal with the Selassie thing or them not deal with the Jesus thing. So it just proved that they haven't moved forward in accepting the Bible and history with a clear conscience. Because we know when we read in the book of Revelations that it begins with Christ on the throne, Revelation 1, and all the titles and the divine nature and attributes that are attributed to Him in that chapter, in the first chapter, as being the Alpha and Omega, which is the beginning and the end, everybody know. But if you want to really know the full extent of it, you can study the Girdle's alphabet system, which gives you the fullness of what he's actually talking about. And the 119 Psalms can help. That is one way of recognizing the Advent and the history with it, which is the garments he wore. And as we were talking, you know, if I was to meet you at a place, like say, you know, we're talking over the phone and you tell me meet me here, and I'm gonna ask you what will you be wearing? Right. So when it comes to Christ's second advent, they never give you or elaborate on anything else but coming from the sky and all these things, which the Bible does not tell you that. You know, the Lord Himself tell you how He would be recognized in the world. And I just want to read Revelation, you know, Johannes right, from chapter 19 and from 13. It says, Orsu bedem yite nekare lives libiso neber. So yite nekare is as a garment like to be dipped in the blood. Yeah, he had a garment libiso neber. Simum ye Xavier Kal ye Mibal no. His name is called the Word of God. That's how it comes out in the English.
What chapter?
That's 19 verse 13. But
okay.
Kal is the second person. Kal is the Word of God, the second person of the Trinity, which is the Son, the one that you see as described in St. John's chapter 1, which His Majesty always refer to. So the garments he has on, dipped in blood, or to resemble, symbolizes that his coronation vestment. It brings you back to the first advent of the blood of the Lamb.
Yes.
Whether them like fear, acknowledge it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dealing with here on the throne. We know because it's still again in verse 16. Belibsuna benechulai yinigistat negus yigetouch geta gimil sim letetsofahal. So on his thigh and on his vesture was written the name King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So here we have the title or the name King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Direct there.
And the name, his name, Simum, is called the Word of God, which Ixabir is called. Ixabir within itself is a Trinity word. Ixi means Lord, as in Jesus. Ab is the eternal Father, and Behir is the ruler of the creation, or head of the creation. Ixi Ab Behir. So his name is called Ixabir's Kal. Kal is the second person of the Trinity. Wuldi, the Son, the one that is visible. So you cannot see the Father and you cannot see the Menfes Kidus.
He makes that clear.
Yeah, so the garments is a way of identifying the person. And if we see on the board there pictures from history. Yeah. All the coronation garments of the king. Look how red it is.
Yeah.
Down to his foot.
Yeah. As it says, paps.
That is in Revelation chapter 1. I think I'll read that one in English here. Yeah, chapter 1, verse 13 again. And this is the person, the king on the throne, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Right, so again, it points to the garments of the king, what he was wearing, which is plain to see. Thank God for the National Geographics for photographing a lot of it, and it shows you, as this one here. This one is a photograph, and
so you can see everything, the paps.
You see everything.
The orb that they speak of, other than the garment, but these are part of the...
Yeah, and what symbolizes on his thigh and his vesture, you will see it in some of them, the designs that represent King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
I guess that's what you were showing me there. Yeah.
Yes, right.
See?
Right.
See there?
Yeah, that's on the part. Yeah, that's it right there.
And everybody could understand that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
And yet it commands so much contention.
And look how you're looking at it all the time, and that the whole breakdown to say what the Bible says, you're seeing it, the living color. The paps, the golden globe, the lamps, the staff, all these things.
That's because they've been lying about Christ from the first advent, Because even here, when we see here in the first advent with the locks, that's how he was born that way, remember, because when they tell us through Samson's field, Samson was just like a beach dread where you see in the Caribbean.
Look at that.
But he come and fulfill the Nazarene vow.
Yeah.
So no razor wasn't on his head from he was a child. And St. Mark actually show you that he went on the cross with the locks. He was born with the locks. And that's how, and St. Mark, one of the apostles who is of African descent, captured the artistry that way.
Yeah. Don't get it wrong.
With locks, not locks of vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just to flash the locks.
And look at the ones around that glow, that,
And they put the crown of thorns on his locks.
Yeah.
On his head. Yeah, the triple crown. We went through this nearly every November because we have to keep on reminding them as we were speaking before, and this is from out of the prior book. Till they plated the crown of thorns and put it on him. Right? So in the Kidamit Sefer Selassie, which is the Saturday prior, it tells you that he that was crowned with the crown of thorns upon his head is he that reigneth in glory, for we were enshrouded with the crown of life and are crowned with the golden crown of salvation, and I say peace unto you in the divine love. Yeah. The crown, the bottom in 3 levels is the crown. Life, crown of life, crown of salvation, and the crown of victory, which is the part of the cross. This is why His Majesty told the world that the cross is the banner of victory. Yet people mock it. You see them mocking it. You see black people mocking it. You know, with first you had a priest, a Catholic priest from the 14th century, Father Wesley, who bring up these things where you say, enough things where you say, all certain reader personalities, you know, bash Jesus and all them things that came from his plan, which he put it out for the future time here. Because they know stuff. So, not for the anti-Bible talk and all those things. But you cannot separate the Trinity. You cannot separate Christ from Selassie. Because Christ is Selassie and Selassie is Jesus Christ, the power of the Holy Trinity, the one who overcame death. He's the same person you read about. This is why Haile Selassie told the world to read the Bible with a clear conscience. Because if you don't, there's no hope for salvation. So he tell you salvation was given at the cross. And it's just a matter of being honest and not trying to falsify history, which is what I see a lot of people doing in their effort to prove that the Bible is not right and there was no Jesus, because some illiterate alphabets don't have J in them. They don't even go 7 across. So a guy, your alphabet system.
You compare that
yeah, it doesn't go there. And people believe all of that. You know, from a lower form of writing and education. There's nothing there but ritualistic hearsays.
Well, the people seem to have had the wool pulled over them eye. From certain generations come up to now. And keeping the history, as him said, we have to keep it. What else do we have?
I'm not talking what else do we have.
Mm-hmm.
So that they don't destroy it. Because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Each time, day, every day you get up, you see somebody have a problem with Jesus on the cross. Yeah. Claiming it's a slave master issue. Mm-hmm. And when you see black people doing these things, you know, so they have no knowledge of African history. Because Africa's oldest nation is a Christian nation. At least they forget is that same Christian nation stood up for you in the decolonization period. The same Christian nation that built the Organization of African Unity, which none of the African gods could ever conceive. Where are they? They never spoke for Africa. The Egyptians never built anything for Africa. Those are lost people. That's why they fade away. Yeah. But every day you get up, you see some anti-Bible stuff, and you're wondering, then where are the people who's supposed to exalt Christian Ethiopia? Where are the Rastas who's supposed to be doing this?
Because they're out there.
Yeah, and we know that the Ethiopians don't celebrate His Majesty this way anymore. Not to say they didn't.
No.
They're in a position where they can't speak. And you know, when you look at this here, look what it says down here. The Virgin did bring it from New York for us. See it here? Jesus, earth, ruler and king, His Divine Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. This is what the people who put it together wrote. Because they could understand the book of Revelations. It just looks. Here's the other part of it. It's a huge mural. If you're wondering what part of the Bible that is. We're in the book of Revelations. So they want us to see now that here is Haile Selassie. But they don't know who this is. You don't know who this is. Then who will say, check the National Geographics. Or you don't believe them. You're not going to believe Revelation 19 or that he resembles the Son of Man with them coronation garments. These are the things that they try to avoid and try to blacken it over with black talk and white powerism. Because no way the Aryan Jesus. And there's no black Jesus, it's this one that resembles His Majesty, the firstborn seed of Shem. This is the issue they're trying to skirt around.
But even in the Ethiopian world, in the Orthodox faith, we should them have pictures showing the man. You can not say it's not him. With locks, small frame, taking him off the cross. There's a story. They depicted the story. They have it in the churches. One of the churches. Because they used to show them a lot when they were selling off the icons of Ethiopia, right? So they were up for bidding and you saw them.
November 2nd, 1930 is the most important day in the 20th century. Because on that day, many European nobilities and important people and all that came to bow before the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That happened on that day in St. George's Church. It is the only church that I know of that has 7 sides, according to the 7 Spirit of the Lord. The only one. And here we see defending this issue takes honesty. Because we see people where, we have to throw some vibes over there. Look like them a Rasta, yet still they want to separate the Christian aspect of His Majesty, His nature, the nature of His Christ, the power of it. They want to separate that and talk about just Rasta. No. That's you're falsifying history. Just to prove some black points or score points. And they're trying to overcome or ignore the fact that Ethiopia, the Christian kingdom, until 74, it's Africa's oldest nation. The one that maintains the Bible's history against all kinds of foe, all kinds of enemies. One set of religion spent 1600 years trying to defeat the nation of the cross. 1600 years, 1600 years. Right? And even though that religion took up most of the African continent and the East, they're still having a problem dislodging this history. So many enemies, so many people, because they have a thing against Christ, the Savior.
He's a man, but he makes himself to be.
Well, the Lion of Judah is Jesus Christ. Christ's second advent is in, what we just read. Coronation garments, crowning of the king, the 7 messianic anointment that he received. All these things happened on November 2nd, 1930, and it's difficult to get a consensus amongst people who claim that, them love Selassie and, to praise Jah. Them something.
Well, the Lutheran, when they ask him, what makes you wanna, if somebody make a claim to be a Christian, what them should do, what shows them to be a Christian, that them have to read the Bible for themselves, and come to some truth about this. and recognize the name that it carries.
But the name of the Trinity, least them forget it. The name Haile Selassie means power of the Holy Trinity. That is the power of the Eternal Father, the power of the Son, Al, the Word to flesh, and the power of the Manifest Pidus, the power of the Holy Spirit. And we know in the Ethiopian tradition as well as in African tradition, you don't give people name that doesn't belong to them. The name match your nature.
Yeah.
And your character.
And it's the most holiest name.
Yeah, and of course, it's the most holiest name. Power of the Holy Trinity. And
Yes, it's higher than all names. Yeah.
according to my prayer book, that name was before the creation of the world. Yeah, this name of Selassie was from before the creation of the world, and it was known that he's from. So if it was from before the creation of the world, I want, and shall go on and he shall go on and dwell it unto eternity. That's in the Hamosi Sefer Selassie. Now, if the name was from before the creation of the world, where was the person? Where was the person? A person exists without a name. Can you give someone a name if the person doesn't exist? Can you name your baby if you don't have one? It's simple. It doesn't take a rocket science, as them say. This thing requires truth and honesty, a clear conscience. That's what it requires. But November 2nd, 1930. Because after that, there was no other day of joy, because the world was gearing up for war. Because they simply decided that they're not gonna come under his rulership.
So they verified it when they went to the coronation and went back to say no.
They verified, but here's the thing now. When he's on the throne, why are the angels falling out of the clouds? They sit on there, angels are falling.
Yeah, this is when the Bible.
Well, he's sitting on the throne there, right, with the authority in his
that
hand.
day.
Yeah, on that day, so we get angels are falling, and some being chased out by the heavenly angels. There's two heavenly angels there, with some sword that will look like some electrical, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one that look like some radio personality I had, who always a bark against Christ and his teachings. You see him heading down headways.
Hurtle down
Headways with broken skull. Yeah. But the day he sat on the throne, with his authority, the angels begin to fall, and in the wider pictures here we see the four horsemen, Lego loops. There's Revelation 5, Revelation 6, the four horsemen. And there we see, up close, we always point out the fascist Italian tanks coming into the frame, and the Ethiopian cavalry. And we have people rising out of the graveyard, for crying out loud.
Who painted that?
I don't know, It's in, it's there in
the painting.
It's there in the cultural center.
So direct.
And so forth. Yeah. It's there. So honesty have to rule the day. As we see the person.
Yeah, and surround this.
In the scene, this is a photograph. The person in the biblical scene. Because both are biblical scenes still. It's only that this one is, capturing this scene in art as an education for us. But here's the person of the main revelation. Is that him, right? And the church of the Medani Alem, he's at the gate. Now, if he's at the gate and you want salvation, how you go past that person if you say he's not the one? Because for a person with them ascribe that's a graveyard. They want you to look for him in the graveyard. Yeah, they want you to look for him in a graveyard. Yet still, his coronation shows divineness. It shows heavenly origin that is happening in the earth. With Ethiopia, as we read in the Psalms, Ethiopia is the Empress Menin representing Ethiopia and the Union. The 68 Psalms, Ethiopia and God, hand in hand, represent empowerment, the empowerment of the nation, and the new form of government.
Yeah, new day.
Yeah. And that, again, on that November 2nd, 1930, when certain forces saw that, they became angry. This is why they went away and made the Lateran Pact to send in the army, the fascist army, which is in the painting there in the background, and to deny the event. Because when you look at it, over 100 years, even though it's the 90, if you count from 1927, when he under the sign of the cross, because many seem to miss that part of the coronation, when he stand between the cherubims or sit between you see the transfiguration of all of that. But for a man who them want, disclaim and them things there, all of the scenes showed divinity, especially the one at the bottom with the clouds, the similitude of the Father, Ethiopia approaching, the dove coming down on his shoulders, and all these things. It's a different cloud from the cloud up there where the angels are falling from. So that was
it's called shining.
the other day I was watching something and the brother mentioned he was using an analogy with the golden. It's a financial program and he was watching an analogy and said the giant kept the golden goose. The giant lived in the crowd with the golden goose. So then we were the financial thing. But the golden goose is what? But it's in the clouds, and if you notice, those angels are being chased out of the clouds. And they're falling straight to the abyss, or the abyss.
And we do read that in the Bible, that they were hurled down, thrown.
Yeah, but who belong in the abyss? Surely not the Trinity.
No.
I never believed them things are from the 1970s. Freak them revolution. I never believe all of that. We're talking about the Lion of Judah here. But it's from them time that them try to omit information from us. And you wouldn't believe how much force is involved in this. If you believe the Bible, you would. In the second Psalms. Yeah, and the people are involved too. Because them are vain things.
It's a serious spiritual battle. It's high and low places.
Well, we don't see no morality in it. We see people are bad for the morality. Where is it? Where is all of that? Because they made an attempt first to attack and discredit the Bible. That's been going on steady for the past 2-3 years. Then we see a claimant come in and say a fuel on this and wage war, and violence, and talk about God say for them land. I never believed that either. Only fool believe that. I tell you that I am. Only fools believe that.
Israel is not a place.
Yeah.
Israel is a
Lord
people.
God give them land. And so on to the heir to the land. Why them think the Lord was born in the land? Because of things like that. A guy come claim the land for the children. This is why he was born there. Yeah.
And make it be known.
Yeah, but I believe him because it's for our sake and for the world. Yeah, but don't talk about God give them the lie. I never believe them. Only fools believe them.
But there's a
The
history.
fools walk in Iodionism.
There's a history that tells you what you're entitled to. And the Lord make it plain so them part in land and do all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, well, they have to deal with all of that. I really don't care. But I'm just saying, I never believe them. I always believe Ethiopia and Haile Selassie. So it makes sense. Right, the history makes sense. His Bible history and experience makes sense. It doesn't matter if a guy won't believe or if them say no, black enough, because I hear them talk, they're grown now. Hear them talk, they're grown now. When you see black people are saying these same things that the white man used to say, and the Aryanism, the very same thing, about black power, and it's the same thing with white power. And you see, when I check, the black guy doesn't have the power of alphabets or numeral. He can't show none of that. And I thought about them create things.
But they couldn't save them from slavery either.
So where were those African gods where them I go back to now?
Right.
Yeah?
And the land where them fight so much is a Christian that free them.
Thank you, years, sir.
Free them. Ethiopia is the land that free the world, whether they're Muslim, Christian, Jews, Gentiles. Is Ethiopia free all Africa? And it's a Christian empire and them fight it so much.
Exactly.
And
we said the first freedom of that began. Even the Ethiopian them might say, Menelik upon the warrior battlefield. But he's sitting on the throne cause principles and to fall down. That never happened with Menelik or Solomon.
And the education.
So with the power there, you see my way of no magic wand.
And the gate open too. The gate open, none of them couldn't open the gate and come out.
God bless Empress Menelik still. He couldn't shake out aggression from out of the clouds. Broke that 10 lion and spread the power of the air.
Because even though Menelik did beat the Italians.
That's on a battle.
Yes, a battle.
But he couldn't do that.
But the child was 4-year-old. They don't win no battle without the child. Remember the child was 4-year-old, who them see on the battlefield. And them see on the battlefield.
But Menelik cannot show a tripatriate nature to triple.
No.
That's his
majesty, man.
Exactly.
These biblical things belongs to him,
No, they come at Menelik because he's the king of kings and lord of lords.
No, they didn't.
They didn't come at him because of that. They came because of other reasons.
Remember,
they came at his majesty because he's the king of kings and he's the lord of lords.
They made war
against. That's a big difference still.
Yeah. Which is,
It put you into Revelation. They didn't put Menelik into Revelation that way.
Yeah.
But the great battle where the child, Isaiah 9, speak of that battle where they will be with fuel and fire.
Here's that.
It wasn't Menelik or none of them.
Right, it wasn't Menelik.
It was his majesty.
That's right, because you didn't have all that. That's right, you didn't have all that.
Fire from it, and some of them get dumbstruck on the battlefield.
That's right. To show you that the nature of the battle was different from what them accustomed to.
Exactly. Yeah, them love the warrior thing and thing, but see, he sat on the throne, angels fall. Then the head one, them run go make pack, Lateran pack, to come with armed forces.
It's funny, because today is the day when His Majesty was crowned. They said, this is the day that the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and give thanks to His Imperial Majesty. Because Psalms 24 also is the Psalms of the day. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. You see it, and also open up the ancient gates, the ancient everlasting door, and let the King of Glory come in. And they were saying, who is this King of Glory? Now we come to tell them, if they don't, we come to remind them then, because the Lord is already
well, then said the Lord mighty in battle
well,
and these things. So who is this?
So His Majesty.
Well, who is the Lord? I want to send a strong message out, because people now get this thing here straight, The 318 Orthodox fathers right, which is the original foundation of the Christian institution, declared
that, yes, I.
now through the Kebra-Nagast, we know and have learned that of a surety the king of Ethiopia is honorable, and that he is the king of Zion and the firstborn seed of Shem. The firstborn seed of Shem. The firstborn seed of Shem. Not other people. And that identity is not up for sale. Not up for loans.
No, it cannot be bought or sold.
Yeah, the firstborn seed of Shem, which is this person here. Here's his photograph. Here's his Bible experience. Yeah. Them just keep around the
That
name.
was declared from way back.
How much time will I hear since through the year the name Israel called it a negative term? How much time? On this very day, that man, Lion of Judah, was crowned King of Israel.
Negus Israel. Yes.
Blessed, they said, blessed be the King of Israel. Now, for the past year, till now I get fed up. Dear Israel been called in a negative term by a people who don't even know what the name means.
Just sorry.
And these are the people they think they can use Shem's name, and they have no Semitic identity, and, which cannot be bought or sold.
So he fulfilled the scripture again where them say, come let us destroy them, that the name of Israel they no more in remembrance.
Yeah, that's what they might try to do.
That's what they might try to do.
Yeah, so about the coronation, you have some ugly Jamaican on radio a fight against Christ and his kingly character. Yeah, because them guys they are establishment still. Them get paid for, I know him alone, when you check around what of the world, you see them coming from all, them come black, white, brown, and all around.
And they want to come kill you for the truth, same way, but the truth, so I know greater love that a man should lay down his life for Haile Selassie, our brother, same which is the Christ. And so we say, as it manifests, because we are giving it according to manifestation.
Yeah, and them guy, the thief Jesus is locks. And go on,
like a figure, and them come from Jesus of Nazareth and Rastafari.
Yeah,
and if you think of it here, though, when you look at it, that's the new style.
Yeah,
not the way of having the locks look like
criminal
that.
Wear locks.
Yes.
Everywhere you go, you see locks.
The true meaning of Rastafari from the foundation is to declare that His Majesty is the returned Messiah. Christ said, we return as kings of kings and Lord of lords.
In these garments, brethren.
Yeah, man, in very blood garments, his child be chosen a garment dipped in blood.
Yeah, which shows his name was on the cross.
And if give the story.
And really and truly, if we want to take it past the triple crown, him say many crowns shall be on his head. But there is no king in the world that wear crown as His Majesty. You can go check, search it out and find the amount of crown that sits on his head.
Well, these are the traditional, I think this is the crown of Menelik II. This is just like the crown of Menelik I, that have the star there, this on the cross. This is not a triple crown. Right, neither is this. But here's the triple crown. All the Memphis Kedus.
Yeah, man. Fulfill also Psalms 21 verse 3, a crown of pure gold shall be upon his head. And these things pertaining to His Majesty. There is no other king. Come with them proof. We are up for, we open, come with your proof.
And show me a king, we have a garment.
Yeah, and his quality and his
but look how you see his knowledge now and how they can get out one from who they know, they say, yes, I know Selassie. If you don't have the knowledge, when they say, you say, prove it. And if you don't have the knowledge to prove it, you get.
And if you don't have the knowledge also to say it, because you have to have that knowledge to say it, say, prove it.
Yes.
Come with your proof.
Yeah.
See? Because we're going to drop a little piece in there too, because him same one did say Abba, And as the language show you how important even the language is, because these are the things that His Majesty give to us to declare and to represent and to, because they are for witness and evidence. Christ in Mark chapter 14 verse 15 say, Abba, if it's thy will, but it's not my will, but thy will be done. Abba is only country in the world that use Abba for father. Is Ethiopia. No, we are talking this way through His Majesty, Because if His Majesty never come, we couldn't talk this way. He gave us the language.
That's how we figure out things.
And look again, Addis Ababa. about the country of our father. You know, see, Ethiopia is our father's land, right? Yeah. So the Bible itself give it up, newspaper give it up, as Bob Marley said, the great Peter touch, and we the children.
So definitely,
So.
yeah. Because even going back, I was just thinking, blessed is he who cometh in the name of the Lord. These things.
Alright. So which king then come in the name of the Lord? Let us be honest. Search, bring the king come that came in the name of the Lord.
It points to him.
Rastafari McQuinnan.
And what is the name of the Lord also? Kings of Kings, because
Yeah.
go off the Holy Trinity, Matthew 28 verse 18, 19.
Xavier's call. His name is called
The word.
Xavier's call. Yemibal.
Revelation 5. Revelation 22 verse 16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the church. I am the root. Not also the root, but also the offspring now. So the Revelation 5 say, no one was worried about the Lion of Judah, the root of David. So how many root are there?
So what would be the relevance of the coronation in this time when people say the Bible not say nothing, Jesus don't exist, still has gone far away? What is the purpose now for us to bring this to the community? Since they, look like most of them don't believe.
Don't believe, right?
Yeah, and to declare that he liveth
What
by
again?
showing the information or alluding people to go read, putting out videos,
You touch on a very important thing, who will believe. It was the same passage the Ethiopian official in Acts 8, who them call Ethiopian eunuch, Acts 8 verse 26 was reading, how he was led to the Gaza lamb to the slaughter, but it starts out Isaiah 53 verse 1, who will believe our report? Who? And to whom the arms of the Lord has been revealed, because he revealed him arms, to with him strength,
So he leave with the individual who say, I, O Lord.
Because we are the
Each
Redeemer.
individual, I forgot to say, I, Lord, because you believers
Yes,
have a work to do, just believe and that's it.
And we redeem.
Because some of them don't learn. Because some say, well, no, the Jesus thing are just Rasta. Well, sad news, because Ras and Teferi are Christian names and titles, are they not? Is that Teferi no Christian name?
Of course.
It's
So
like,
from the tribe of Judah, the name come
right,
from.
It
right.
don't come out in
Right.
the English word.
Yeah, from the Iowa.
The same Christ of born in Bethlehem of Judah. And in Judah is God known.
The name Teferi comes from him, it's his name.
Yeah.
It's a Christian name and it comes from the tribe of Judah.
Yes.
It's Christian first. So it's the title, Ras and Teferi, about Christian names and titles. So then they were, I just talk about just Rasta. I think them should, in the wrong faith still.
Well, it's like having the answer but not doing the work.
What wasn't it?
It's no different from what the church people them say.
Right.
Because them deny Selassie and talk about them still away for Jesus.
Right, and that's the Kings of Kings. And
I can't show you a
I
coronation.
can't show you a coronation.
Yeah, you have
I
to show
can't show you the person either.
Well, you have to show me them. If they want to call Jesus King of Kings, you have to show me that picture.
Exactly. Or you
Just like the
cover
reading of the Bible,
Right.
just like history capturing or stop.
Yeah, stop that. They're not supposed to call the person name and then deny the person.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Because them only was saying that to try and offset the Rastaman.
Yes.
For saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is really take the kingdom of the Lord by force then, because if you have him things and I say, I don't feel it, and
From long time they've been wrestling. Is the Lord put a wrench in that wheel?
And say it's not the person.
And that, yeah.
Yeah, but the taking of the kingdom by force is will lead to World War II.
Right.
Yeah.
Not all the time them take it by force, really.
Right.
They've been there itching around.
Yeah.
But to come and take the kingdom,
Because that's what Mussolini did. He said he will. Even though there's this league set up to hash out things. Let us see if him right and you send, the terms or whatever.
We
We are here as an evidence and as a reminder that it is a 94th anniversary of the crowning of the King of Kings, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And whether you want to put your head in a dead talk, then you go right ahead, because if them saying dead since 1974, why is it still an issue today? Can you make war with a dead man? A dead man is a dead man. So what are you frightened about? So why are you still being angry and still making an issue over this matter when you see the things of history being revealed about this man? Are you in on the problem?
And trying to attack the Bible, which contains his personal experience and goodness therein.
And attacking the children that keep the word, because we are keeping the word by...
Oh, well, let's keep the word.
Those are the people who claim to, them have Bible experience, them in at the Bible and claim this. I don't see no evidence of that. But I believe His Majesty. Because I've seen, when I read my Bible, I know who am I, who I'm reading about.
But teach, even if you go to the bank right now, and them know you, they want the things that belongs to you to identify who you is. So that's why we say, bring them evidence. Because we have the things of His Majesty to identify that this is the person of the book.
Which is the Bible.
Which is the Bible.
Yeah, we have it here.
Yeah, we have it.
And we have the history account.
And we don't care when no girl or no guy was saying, as the brethren said, it's not free issue. Freely we receive and freely we give. This one is not to be sold. Right? So it cannot be bad. See, you can reveal. Go check history. It's like, I don't know.
We don't have to be ashamed to...
No, but the Bible is
it's
an Ethiopian book. The Bible is an Ethiopian history. Right? It's clearly revealed that it's not a Jewish book. It's an Ethiopian book. From Genesis to Revelation, it tells you that. And from Adam to Haile Selassie is the fullness of that book.
It is the law book.
Right, it is the law book, because it's there the lawman came from.
And that's why they don't love it, because they are lawless.
The lawman, you see him right there in the picture, the lawman. Cambridge University recognize him. Montreal University recognize him. Right?
The major.
And recognize him as the highest figure in law. Not because them come at them university, but because of what them see him doing in Ethiopia. And rise our standard above them. Till in a blink of an eye, he rivals, cities that was built way before him. And they became jealous and envy because them see him beautifying Ethiopia, which them all look down upon, and someone to secretly grab it.
Fulfilling Psalms 87, and the highest himself shall establish her.
Yeah, it's him. All those verses come in play here. The highest himself. Christ in full glory. Where else to see Christ in full glory? The cross is the shame he bore. And he turned that into glory still, but the glory comes when he gives the name. Because now you see the resurrection of him. You can't kill a man twice. He already conquered death. The Lion of the tribe of Judah conquered death. So, death talk is just belligerence, and you're trying to it's evil. It's evil. It's pure evil, because say when the man you're talking about in the book, you can't kill him. You know that. So it's just you're shooting out things out of your mouth because
simple.
To capture the simple-minded people who don't know. Therein lies your evil, because you seek it to do harm. It's evil them doing. Lies are evil. Don't undermine it. Lies are evil.
Because actually